Hello and welcome to Unemployed to Unstoppable episode 46, and for us today we have a cup final, Carabao Cup final, and we'll probably play a European game as well. So there's not been too many games since you last played us. I'll catch you up on the results, so stay tuned and you'll see how we got where we are. And welcome back. So a quick catch up through the schedule where you last saw us. We'd had the first leg lost to Liverpool 3-2. We then followed up with the 1-1 draw on camera against Bournemouth. We got knocked out. We had a bit of a bad run actually. We got knocked out of the FA Cup fourth round by Fulham, which was a game I thought we would easily win. And there's a weird thing happens here is we then got beat by Leeds 1-0, no goal scorers. And then, bizarrely, when we play someone better, like Liverpool, we got a 1-1 draw in the Premier League, albeit a 91st minute equaliser. Then we absolutely demolished Liverpool in the second leg, 4-0. Andy Johnson, Vinweza, Hansen Aaron and Codriano. And I think in that game as well, we also had a goal disallowed. I'm not sure if it's going to show you on there. But I think Medina had a goal disallowed in the 95th minute as well, so it could have been 5. It was absolute one-way traffic, and it's weird how we can be so dominant against Liverpool, yet Leeds and Fulham we can't score a goal. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. And even more bizarrely, we then followed that with a 1-0 home win against Man City. Victor Krasov getting a goal in the 90th minute in a game of very, very few chances. It was quite a tight affair. And then we draw 1-1 with Birmingham. So it's really bizarre. We seem to be better against the better teams, which leads us to the Carabao Cup final, which we've got against Burnley. Burnley currently in the Championship is actually on paper we should easily win this game. However, by the previous results, this will probably end up in either a 0-0, 1-0 win to them or a draw that goes to penalties. And then we'll probably end up beating Chelsea. But we'll see. I don't think we'll play the Chelsea game on camera. I think what we'll do is we'll probably play maybe the second leg of the Hibs game in the Europa Conference League. That's who we got in the round of 16. So we'll try and do the Burnley game, Cup final, see if we can finally do something a little bit more meaningful with Millwall, and then see if we can progress in the Europa Conference League as well. So I'll click us through to them games shortly. The only other things to take you up to is a quick look at the squad. We're generally doing pretty well. We've not got anyone who's injured. We've got a fairly fit squad. We did have a few bits of transfer interest in the window. I don't think we really let too many go towards the end of the window. Let's have a quick look just so I don't give you any duff, Jane. Bramble had already gone. Preciado's gone out on loan to Lincoln. Again, nothing in terms of business in. So all in all, we're doing pretty good. I'll get us through to the game. We'll get the cup final done and dusted. Hopefully this is a celebratory episode where we get our first significant trophy. But I will cross my fingers same as you, and hopefully we can deliver a really promising performance. So I will see you very shortly. Okay, so here we go. Cup final days upon us. Neutral ground against Burnley. Carabao Cup final. We've got Romero in goals. We've got a back four of Mercier, Calderon, Aliou and Shahar. We've got a midfield three of Johnson, Diouf and Topologlu. And then a front three of Johnson on the left, Vinweza on the right and Codriano leading the line up top. We've got a really strong bench. We've got Caleb Hansen, sub-goalkeeper. We've got Kravtsov, who can play anywhere up the left. Hansen Aaron, midfield. Medina, sub-striker. We've got Olander and Diallo as defenders. We've got Alfie, Devine, Somolani and Vancharov as well. So we've got lots of players who can come off the bench. I mean, Medina's already got 13 goals this season. So I think if we're struggling, we've got a little bit of firepower there to try and get us out of trouble. But without saying anything much more about it, let's get into this. Ollie Johnson a little bit troubled with the team's mentality, but I'm not quite sure why, because we're set up in quite a way to go and try and attack this game. But here we go. Kick-off time in the most meaningful part of the save so far. I'm hoping we can finally secure a meaningful trophy. I know it's not the FA Cup and I know it's not the league, but the Carabao Cup is still a trophy worth winning in my eyes. Certainly if we can get the ball rolling in as actually winning things, winning more prize money, attracting better players to the club. So Vinweza delivers in a free kick. In it goes to Aliou. He's managed to get a header and put us 1-0 up on 18 minutes. This should hopefully calm some of the nerves of the players and then keep the crowd on side. But in it goes. Mercier was there as well. But Excellent free kick from Vinweza. Excellent goal from Aliou. And we are the only team with a shot on target so far. If we can just limit them, we've got a balanced approach. Limit them to to no chances if we can. Aliou wants to come off now. Olander, ready-made replacement. He should come on, and he's more than fit for purpose to replace him at the back. As we come into half-time, gave them very few chances. They've had their first shot just as we come up towards half-time. We don't want them to get anything just as we come in. Very few chances in that first half. And I'd be happy for more of the same, I think, if I'm honest. We're done controlling possession. That's what we want. And that's what we do want. We just want to keep a hold of the ball, make sure we've got it in the positive areas and they don't get it. Win it back as fast as we can and recycle it up the other end. So push it on to the hour mark again. Not too much in terms of chances. Disappointing in terms of not seeing too many goals, etc. However, positive thing is the scoreline in the top left-hand corner. Olander and Shahar managing to clear the ball. Vinweza down the right. Topologlu now drives forward into Kodrianu. Again, we're playing the ball quite comfortably around the back, but it's preventing them winning it too high up the pitch. Down the left to Johnson. Diouf and Murcia working well. Johnson's been fouled. Fry already on a yellow card and he's picked up a red. Now we're never going to get a better opportunity than this. Murcia into Johnson on the left-hand side. A second goal pretty much makes it a formality. Again, really good passing around the edge of the box, but no penetration. Into Johnson. That's just really good move. Needed the goal to make it a bit more safe. Johnson will deliver a corner now. Big players up in the box again. Gets a second chance to deliver into Vinweza. Calderon will pick up the scraps, but again, we can't quite get that second goal yet. We've only had 3 shots on target, which is quite disappointing. But 10 minutes to go. We're 1-0 up. Murcia down the left again. Working well with Johnson. Calderon into Johnson, the other Johnson. Shahar down the right. Really patient build-up. And we like to keep hold of the ball a lot. Shahar will deliver it in. Initially cleared. Vinweza gets it and he makes it 2-0. Millwall have their hands on the trophy. It's ours to lose now. Shahar driving well down the right-hand side. His initial cross was kind of cut away. Johnson recycles it into Vinweza. He spins and hits a left-foot shot to put us 2-0 up. And I think it's safe to say Millwall are going to lift their first trophy. We will make that sub. Vinweza for Medina. And we'll let Vancherov get on the pitch for a little bit of exposure as well into the final 5 minutes. Burnley creating something up the other way now. Don't let them... Oof, good save Romero. Keeps it at 2-0. I didn't want it to get too nervy as we go into the final few minutes. Goal kick from Burnley into the final just few throws of the match. Again, they're making a couple chances towards the end of the game. Maybe we're getting a little bit too tired. And they've got to go back. No. Do we shut up shop? I think we will just play a little bit cautious because we want to get this over the line. Hay gets in. Tally feeds it back to Fernandez. Romero made himself big, but he wasn't able to stop it. Shot from inside the 6-yard box. Currently 2-1 Millwall as the final minute. 6 minutes of injury time. Cautious play. Just try and keep the ball. Don't let them get their feet on it. And there we go. Millwall about to lift the Carabao Cup. The first meaningful trophy of the save. It's been a number of years developing the Millwall squad since we got them out of the Championship. It looks like Vinweza is going to be the one to lift the trophy. We'll see the confetti. Here he goes with a little drum roll. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much the same animations as the last version, but we just like to see it. There we go. Millwall lift the Carabao Cup. We have achieved our first step towards becoming unstoppable, shall we say. I mean, we want to win the Premier League. That's the overall aim. I think we're still a little way off that, but getting a Carabao Cup win under our belts, increasing the club's stature, securing a position in the European competitions for next season, all positive things and all things we can take forward as what's been so far a very successful season. So we'll wrap that up. We'll congratulate everyone with a win. They can all have the day off tomorrow. And yeah, Millwall Cup holders. Excellent work. In terms of league position then, which is what we've got to get back to in the interim before the European game, currently sat 8th, 2 points behind Everton and Newcastle, but we have got 2 games in hand on Millwall. I think with our game in hand, we can get within 7 points of Chelsea in 4th, so we're still kind of one eye on the Champions League. It might be a little bit of a stretch. We've got 12 games to go. It's possible, but I think we've drawn far too many games this season where just that extra goal would make it a little bit more comfortable. So I'll click us through. I'll play the Chelsea games in between, etc., and I'll get us to the second leg of the Europa League, and we'll see if we can make progress in that cup as well. So stay tuned, and I'll see you again very shortly. Welcome back. So we're just about ready for the second leg of the Conference League tie with Hibernian. Just to catch you up on the results in between, weirdly again beating the better teams. We've absolutely smashed Chelsea 5-2 away from home. Walter Medina getting 4 goals. 2 of them were penalties, but we were 5-0 up in this game, and we'd scored 5 shots from 5 chances, which was completely bizarre. Bear in mind, Chelsea had hit the post and the crossbar multiple times before then. They did get 2 goals back, but we were so far gone by that point that it didn't really matter. They were never going to catch us. So massive point. We pulled in 3 points on them. So in terms of the league, we were getting closer. We played the first leg against Hibs. We got a 3-1 victory away from home. Again, it was 2-1 at one point, so it was looking a little bit nervy, but we got goals from Vinweiser, Johnson, and then Topaloglu sealed the deal to make it 3-1. So hopefully we'll be quite comfortable in home leg. The disappointing bit really is the in-between game with Brighton. It absolutely dominated, but we just couldn't get a goal. We were resting a large number of players because we were playing Saturday, Thursday for a while. A lot of the mainstays were quite tired, so like Somalani's had a run out, Vancharov's had a run out, Salas has even had a game. So there's been a bit of a change in squad. We didn't quite get the result over the line. It's going to have damaged us a little bit in terms of the league position. In that we're 7th. Now we do have the game in hand on Newcastle, so we've gone past Everton now. We're above Liverpool, but we've got a game in hand on Newcastle, so we can pop back into 6th. We've got 2 games in hand on Manchester United, who are on 54, so we can get to 52, so we can get within 2 points and 8 games to go. So again, there's a chance of us getting there. I wouldn't say it's unlikely, because it depends on the schedule really, but I mean, we get to play Man United in that run as well. And apart from Man United and Arsenal, I wouldn't say we've got really too many tremendous teams that we have to play. Newcastle are always a bit dodgy because they've got millions of pounds worth of players. But I think we could get a good few results out of them. So we'll have to see where we finish towards the end of the season. But let's get to the job in hand. Let's get the Conference League game out of the way. We'll just take the advice from the coaches. Codriano, Diallo, Kravtsov, Payne at right back. We'll have a look. I think the majority of players look pretty fit. Medina can carry on up front. Hansen Arrow, I prefer. Johnson's still a little bit tired, so we'll have Hansen Aaron out on the left. We'll rest a few players and keep some of them in reserve for when they come back. We've got Romero and goals, back for Mercia, Olander, Aliou and Shahar, Johnson, Diouf and Topaloglu in the middle of the park, and then we've got Hansen, Aaron, Vinweiser and Medina up front. Medina, who's significantly topped up his goal tally after getting 4 goals against Chelsea, so he's now our top scorer by some way. But hopefully, even if he just gets 1 or 2 today, we can rotate the squad a little bit come half time, and as long as they're not getting back in the game, it should be a good opportunity to get some of the fringe players. It's a much needed game time from a development point of view, and just keep players quite fresh for when we get the run in, because we've got some points to catch up with as we go into the final 10 games of the season. So what a massive episode this has been so far. We've had the Carabao Cup win against Burnley. It looks like we're going to progress to the last 8 in the Conference League, so the chance to possibly do a cup double. I don't think there's any really big teams left in it apart from ourselves. I think we were favourites even at the beginning of the competition, so there is a good chance we can go on and do something in this. Again, if we can, we will include them in a future episode. But we've got the line share of the ball so far. Medina slots one in. A lovely little through ball from Diouf. And we're 1-0 up, 4-1 on aggregate, half an hour into the game. So Aliou into Diouf. Oh, it's Juve to Topologlu, one touch through ball to Medina, and he slots it into the bottom corner to keep his fresh run of form going. The Uruguayan wonder kid, he's got some tremendous stats. Probably one of the best I've seen. Bear in mind, we had Codriano first as a wonder kid. We brought Medina in second on an opportune basis, but he's very quickly made himself the highest scoring first choice player. Ullander playing the ball out the back, then through Juve again in the middle of the park. He's been brilliant, actually. Picked him up on a free transfer, if you remember. But he's established himself as a first team, despite us bringing in some other players around him. And he's been magnificent in the middle of the pitch. Again, we've got some of the older mainstays like Hansen Aaron. He was probably one of the first players that was this start of the change, our first really big Premier League standard signing that we made back when we were in the Championship. So he might potentially be one of the ones who got the ball rolling, and he's still in the squad. So Vinweiser with a lapsadaisical pass there gives them a chance. It comes off the crossbar. We don't care how they stay out. We just want them to stay out as we get into half time with a 3-goal buffer. 45 minutes away from getting to the next round. I'll probably give it to close to the hour mark, and then we'll give some of the fringe players a little bit of a run out, like the Simon Paynes at right back, etc. And we'll start to make a couple of changes now, so we'll get Simon Payne a bit of a run out, get him some game time exposure. Who else have we got on here? Salas, give him a little bit of game time at defensive mid. We always like to give Vancherov. Oh no, in fact he's having a good game, so let's leave him on. Let's get Diallo on for a bit of game time as well, because he's an Englishman we want to develop long term for the future, so that gives him a good half an hour of game time to see if they can make some kind of impact. Well, actually, will they let me make one more? Probably quite like to give Codriano a bit of a run out, as Medina's kind of taken most of the limelight away, and then Somolani on for that last kind of change against Vinweiser on the right hand side. So drifting towards the end of the game, 4-1 up, 1-0 on the night, 10 minutes to go. Not been the most creative of performances, but as an episode, all told, progression in both cups, progress in the league by beating Chelsea. It's been a pretty special episode, and we've picked up our first trophy. So really good defensive performance there. One of a couple of Swedes we got in the squad there. And we just really have to see who we're going to get in the next round. I don't know if the round's going to be drawn already. I don't think so. It's not in there. I don't know, is it in the calendar? Well, it's not for a while anyway, so we won't see it in today's episode, but I'll update you when we come back in the future. And yeah, all told, a fantastic episode. Cup winners, I don't know if that's in the club info page yet. History, here we go. Carabao Cup winners, 2-1 at Burnley. That's the thing to celebrate. If you like what you've seen today, please don't forget to put a thumb up on the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, because it helps support the channel, helps it grow, and we can look at ways of making it better. Again, comment in the section if there's anything that you want to see that I'm not showing, or any ways you think we can kind of improve it a little bit. And if you haven't checked out the other save going on the channel, we have a youth intake challenge where we're taking Dulwich Hamlet from the bottom to the top using the youth facility only, which is quite interesting. So again, if that's kind of your bag, maybe nip in and have a little look, because it's an exciting save. And if nothing else, until next time, enjoy yourselves, take care, enjoy your saves, let me know how they're getting on, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.